Hey friends, Mike and Jess here.
And welcome to Regeneration Nation TV. Today we are reacting to a video titled The Top 10 Castles in Wales, Snowdonia, Anglesey, Cardiff, and more. I don't know if I said that correctly, but we're just going to go with it.
I didn't think you were going to go that deep into the title.
Roast me,
I would have just went with top 10 castles in Wales. Not going to lie.
I was being more brave. I was trying to be adventurous. We're going on this adventure with Alex Travels, and I just wanted to, I don't know, I just wanted to get there, I think.
You did a great job. You did a great job. Oh my gosh.
You guys will let me know how to say those, and I will appreciate it. I will appreciate the education.
We've done 2 other reactions to castles. We did England. We did Scotland. Everybody was like, Wales, do Wales. So here we are. We're basically castle experts by now. You know, 3 videos. It's our 3rd video. I'm totally kidding.
But it is so nice to get to travel the world through watching these, because I don't know when we're going to be able to actually do it physically in person, but this is the next best thing, I think.
Yeah, next best thing would be like VR or something, you know. I could just, you walk around the castle for me with a camera on the top of your head.
And maybe get like a little
and then I put this thing on my face and I get to walk around with you.
Yeah.
Walking around. Maybe I can even get over a call with you and I can tell you where to go.
Okay.
You know, we could be linked up. So if you guys want to volunteer to do that for us.
Yeah.
Go walk around the castle with a camera strapped to your head.
It'd be like us going with you. It'd be beautiful. I think that would be awesome. I would be down if you guys are.
We're not castle experts and we're not comedians, clearly. So we've got links for this down below, though. Without further ado, let's get into this.
Let's do it.
Hello everyone and welcome. In this video, I'm going to show you 10 of the most amazing castles that you can see in Wales.
Let's do this. We did the other 2 reactions we did had AI voices. So when looking for one for Wales, I did try to find one that, you know, was a real person.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So Wales is a country with a rich and fascinating history, and fun fact, Wales actually has more castles per square mile than any other country in the world.
Wow.
So it was very hard to narrow down this list, but I think you'll agree that these are some of the most impressive. So let's get started.
That's crazy. I did not know that.
So beginning with one of my personal favourites, and that is Conwy Castle. This medieval fortress was built by King Edward I of England in the 13th century as part of his conquest of Wales. The castle has famously been called one of the finest examples of military architecture in Europe, with its 8 iconic massive towers that you can climb each and every one of them, by the way, so obviously we had to do that when we visited. The castle overlooks the beautiful town of Conwy and the River Conwy and offers stunning views of the mountains of Snowdonia to the south as well. So I absolutely love this castle, and in fact this part of Wales is home to so many beautiful castles, including Beaumaris Castle. This is another masterpiece of King Edward I and is located on the Isle of Anglesey. Now you may notice that this castle looks a little bit unusual, with the towers being no taller than the walls and everything being quite short and stumpy in general. And that's because this castle was never actually completed due to lack of funds as well as lack of manpower. And it was never attacked or besieged, so exploring this castle is a very unique opportunity to see a 13th century castle halfway through construction. So now on to the next.
I don't think I've ever seen a castle that just like didn't get completed.
Didn't get completed, yeah. I never even heard of that either. So
there's
that's
a lot of buildings nowadays that don't get completed.
Yeah, but they're nothing like this.
Yeah, I've never heard of an ancient building like this losing funding, so it doesn't get completed.
To see a 13th century castle halfway through construction. So now on to the next castle, which is Harlech Castle. Now I'm not even going to bother telling you who built this one, but it rhymes with King Schmedward. And this one is located on a rocky cliff overlooking the Irish Sea. And it's most known for its role in several wars and rebellions, including the War of the Roses, when it was defended by Lancastrian forces, and they held out for 7 years inside this castle against Yorkist attacks, which I think gives you an idea of just how formidable this castle was. Fun fact, the sea actually used to come all the way up to this castle, and this gate here was actually used to unload supplies from ships to take up to the castle. But as you can see, that is definitely not the case anymore today.
Wow.
Man, what caused the sea to recede that far?
Yeah.
That's crazy. There's a town and everything. That's pretty far away.
So this next castle is a little bit of a hidden gem, I think, located on a rocky hill overlooking the beautiful town of Llangollen in North Wales. So yeah, whilst exploring, we noticed some distant ruins and we couldn't resist. So we started climbing the hill, which Ellie very much enjoyed doing.
This would be so cool.
I can't do it anymore, Alex.
And the views got better and better as we climbed, and eventually we got to Castell Dinas Bran. This castle's name means the Crow's Fortress, and legend has it that it was once home to Bran the Blessed, a mythical king who had a magic cauldron that could revive the dead.
Wow.
This would be so cool to visit.
Okay, so one more castle in North Wales now before we head down to South Wales, and that is Criccieth Castle. This is a very...
Yeah, these are some really cool names for these castles.
Bran, when they said Bran, I was thinking Game of Thrones, but
Of course you were.
That's
Of
so
course
crazy
you were.
because there's crows in Game of Thrones. It's kind of like that. I wonder if they got like the basis of the idea of something off of that, because he was like, I don't know, didn't he have like a gift of some sort?
I mean, this
didn't he
always makes me think of like Game of Thrones because it's the most popularized thing in that time period now, probably.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fantasy. You like fantasy. I like fantasy and sci-fi, but
Yeah.
but yeah, this stuff, these castles look exactly like it. Reminds me, and even when he said Lancaster, I was thinking Lannister. Look,
Yeah.
I'm totally getting Game
Just
of
kidding,
Thrones
that's where
vibes.
it came
I can't help it.
But I wonder if there's something like, you know, when you have like urban legends or stories that were make believe or mythology and stuff like that, like what kind of truth was that based on? Like, what did he do that made you think that he could raise people from the dead? Because I don't know, and I feel like maybe once you get over to that part, it's a little bit of like a darkness thing, you know what I mean, that happens. But what did he do? Like, yeah, what did he do that like made people think that he could raise people from the dead with a cauldron? Like,
He
I don't
signed
know.
his soul to a demonic force.
Yeah.
Signed his soul away.
Terrifying.
before we head down to South Wales, and that is Criccieth Castle. This is a very small castle that has been captured by multiple people throughout its history, most famously Owain Glyndwr in 1404, who was the leader of the Welsh uprising to end English rule in Wales.
The stones are just so pretty. It just looks so nice.
How amazing would it be to go on a trip together, like Alex and his partner being able to go and just
Visit,
capture all this
amazing.
footage.
I would love that so
good.
much. This would be
They did a great
beautiful.
job.
In Wales.
That's absolutely lovely.
Okay, so down to
Views are
South Wales now, and down
fantastic.
into the county of Carmarthenshire, and a bit of a unique one now because this is Larne Castle. It was a medieval castle that was later converted into a Tudor mansion. The castle's most famous resident was Dylan Thomas, the renowned Welsh poet who lived in a boathouse that you can actually still find near to the castle.
That's crazy.
Dylan. Dylan. Dylan Thomas.
He lived here from 1949 to
I love that
1953
footage. That
and
was
wrote
so
some of his
cute.
best works there, such as Under Milk Wood and Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night. So as well as visiting this castle, his boathouse is a must visit, especially to see the views of the estuary that inspired so much of his writings.
Wow.
Now just next door to Larne Castle is Llanstefan Castle, another slightly lesser known one. It stands on a hill.
These names are like, I would have such a hard time
I would
pronouncing
not read
them
it like
correctly.
he's saying
yeah,
it.
exactly. So I'm so glad.
Is Llanstefan Castle, another slightly lesser known one. It stands on a hill above the village of Llanstefan and offers panoramic views of Carmarthen Bay and the Towy River.
Oh, that
It's
view
completely
is
free to visit as
gorgeous.
well, so me and my granddad had a great time exploring around this one.
Oh,
Now, our next castle was once the seat
Incredible.
of the powerful Welsh kingdom of Deheubarth. So this powerful Welsh realm ruled over most of South Wales in the 11th and 12th centuries, and this is Dynevor Castle. The The castle itself is relatively small, but it's worth mentioning it is surrounded by a deer park and an ancient woodland, and the views from the tower of this castle are absolutely mind-blowing.
Oh my gosh. That would be very mythical and fairy-like to me. Walking through there to get to the castle, that would be, I would just be thinking of all these things. Like a wisp is going to come out of the forest and lead me to the... That's so cool. And even with the weather being overcast, it's very foggy and overcast, but it's still, the views are fantastic. It's so beautiful. You could see for miles right there.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Could you imagine if it was bright and sunny outside? Like all the things that you would see, like all the more you could see, but wow, this is beautiful.
So before I get to the final castle of the video and my personal favourite castle of Wales, I must add, I just wanted to mention that if you are enjoying, please do feel free to leave a like and also leave a comment as well if you have any other castle suggestions that I haven't mentioned in this video, because with the massive amount of castles in Wales, I know I've missed a few good ones out. In fact, as a bonus honourable mention, how could I forget about Caerphilly Castle, which is located just 30 minutes north of Cardiff, Wales's beautiful capital city. This castle is just incredible, especially its surroundings. My highlight is the tower here that is somehow still standing despite looking like it should have crumbled to the ground long ago.
Oh, they have like a statue like holding it.
Hayley, how did they build this castle?
I don't know. How?
Carefully. So yeah, there you go, a bonus mention before getting on to my final location of the video, and as I said, my personal favourite is Carreg Cennen Castle. It's an absolutely stunning castle that sits on a limestone crag above the river Cennen. It was built by a Welsh lord in the 13th century, and it was later captured by King Edward I, as well as having help from King Henry VIII. The castle's main attraction is its natural cave, which I actually had no idea about when I visited, but me and my granddad made sure to venture down into the dark, unlit cave, so that was a very fun adventure. I can't see anything. Luckily, I got a torch.
You would get freaked out?
I would lose my breath a little bit.
Hold on.
It's such a close space.
That's so cool. Yeah, I've grown up in Florida all of my life, so we don't have caves here. I did go to some caves, very like basic caves though, when I visited Tennessee with her, but nothing like this. This is so cool.
This cave actually leads to a spring that was once used as a water source. So obviously it doesn't go anywhere, you do have to come back up, but it's actually much bigger than I expected. And the castle also offers breathtaking views of the surrounding Brecon Beacons countryside.
You can see for miles.
So that's it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed this tour of the 10 castles in Wales that are my personal favourites. Obviously there are many more, but please do subscribe if you did enjoy. Check out my other videos from Wales. We have been all over this beautiful country over the years and have quite a lot of videos on it. So yes, thank you everybody for watching. I will see you in the next one, and goodbye.
Aww.
That was a great video.
Yeah, that was.
Great shots.
Beautiful shots. That was like so perfect. That made me want to go so bad. I definitely like that he included his partner and his grandfather, which is that was super cool. Just I like the way that we see videos that just coincide. I think that's the right word that I'm looking for, with our channel and just what we stand for, like connecting. Like that's two different generations. His granddad lived during a different time. He remembers those places as different. He grew up differently. Yeah. I don't know, and just them coming together, coming to the same place, and both of their views. And
the other castle videos really, like, they were beautiful, informational, but informative, I should say, but they didn't have heart. And this video had heart, so I appreciated that a lot. Yeah. Man, what a beautiful country! Like, even just the scenic shots that he was showing, just beautiful. I want to visit so badly.
Me too, dude. Like, I read this book. I forget what it was called. Oh my god, Love something. Anyway, it's a book, and the premise of it, I don't know where she is, but it's old time. So I would say 1800s ish area. But it's back when women, barely read and write kind of thing. They didn't really do much. All the men were doctors and stuff like that. Like they could teach, and she wanted to be a doctor, and she reads all these books and stuff like that and basically teaches herself. But that whole thing makes me want to go back to that kind of time. Aside from I think of septic, and they had the plague and stuff like that, because I don't feel like they knew how to clean very well.
Yeah.
Kind of that thing. And when you think about doing surgery on someone and not being not cleaning yourself and having good hygiene or whatever,
if you got
a lot more people
transported
died.
with everything you know now back then, you'd be terrified.
Yeah, I would be terrified.
If you just
but
were born back then,
you wouldn't know any different.
better.
But that's just what it reminded me of, is that time period. I think I would just like to go back in that time period, because I like when you can read a book and you can create this little place in your head of where you're going to go. And I feel like that was a little bit of the places that I would see in my head when I was reading that book.
That's awesome.
I can't believe I don't remember the name of it, but yeah, anyway, it was a great book. Anyway,
maybe someone knows what book you're talking about.
I'll know in a minute once I look it
Described
up on
it
Google.
in great detail.
Google.
Well, that was only 10, it was his pick, his personal pick.
Mm-hmm.
So let us know other castles,
There's so
that's
many.
crazy.
If they have one more than any other country in the world
Yeah.
per square foot. So there's plenty more, I'm sure. So
Yeah, and Wales isn't the biggest country, so that's kind of insane.
yeah.
But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that. Go check out Alex's channel, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye, friends.
Peace.
I'm not scared of your love, so show me it. Let